James Casbolt in Cornwall in a place called Zenner with a rebel not taken holding the camera. And maybe Bob may explain that later. But welcome to the Full Disclosure Now conference, the second one, and it's in July 2025. And we've got James Casbolt in Zenner, which is a very mysterious place in Cornwall. Welcome to the Full Disclosure Now conference, James. Take it away. Say what you want.
Hi, Miles. Just say hi, Miles and Brian. And I think just a short, brief statement of support for the Full Disclosure Now conference. I suppose I think when it comes to disclosure, so many questions have been answered now, whereas it's definitely a credible global movement, I would say. The gatekeepers have been identified, or they're starting to be identified, with the UAP, the legacy UAP program. And it's safe to call some of the gatekeepers in the US government political giants. I won't mention any names, with the initials DC. And I think many of these giants have been defeated, and some of this hidden knowledge has been brought back to humanity. I think this is the place we're in now. But I definitely have to cover some of the negative aspects of it, because I think as a movement, we can't go forward if we're dragging dead wood with us. And what I mean by that is, I think there's some people in the movement that are just repeating the same things over and over again. And there's others making ridiculous claims with no material evidence. And I think the worst offenders are those who possibly didn't even believe any of this stuff from day one. And they were attempting to turn disclosure into some kind of capitalist profit-making scheme. So I think they're being identified. And I think it's about, cutting away the dead wood so we can move forward as a global, because it is a credible global movement now.
Do you have any specific subjects you want to cover?
Well, I think Bob and I are going back into the studio to record the second album, and I'm putting out a lot of disclosure in that, because there's still certain things I can't say, but I'm looking to cover a lot in the next year or two.
In your CD that you've produced, the lyrics are important to listen to. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm still recovering. There's a lot I can't say, but I'm putting it out in the lyrics. And again, I've just started to. We've just gone back to the studio, and I've just started to work on the second album, Killer for Life. We just finished the first album, The Hand. So I'm just looking to recover for the next year or two and go into my 50s. I've only covered the tip of the iceberg from what I know, and I'm looking to disclose more and more. We're about to do part 10 with Bob on the Zenner chat, so we're going to cover some information to do with Cornwall and the Giants, I think.
So what do you wish to address to anybody specifically at the conference, this conference, which is very busy?
Overall, the movement is very positive. It's definitely a credible global movement, so I don't want to focus on the negatives too much. But, well, I think, it's moving forward. For me, it's about unification and kind of healing the past. Health is the most important thing. I'm trying to recover my health going forward. Yeah, it's definitely a healthy environment here. It's the best place people can be in. It's the best place I can definitely be in at the moment. Yeah, I definitely support Ida and Brian, because I know this is the second one going forward. And it's definitely at a lovely location. And I think some great progress could be made at this conference and really move it forward and open it up as we go into 2026.
You've mentioned worldwide movement. Do you see disclosure coming from outside the United States?
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why some of the BRICS nations can't lead the way. It doesn't have to be G7 nations. You know, BRICS, it's like Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. It could be argued that some of the G7 nations, the American empire, is going into relative decline. So it could come from the BRICS nations.
Well, thank you very much, James. I think Bob's maybe going to suffer a heart attack holding the camera. And I'm very grateful for Bob to have you in his beautiful house in Zenner, which has got a lot of history and a lot of things to do and say. And I know you've got more recordings to do with Bob.
Yeah.
And that seems to be going very well. And you've got your music. Do you want to just explain where you're recording this? It's a brilliant studio down in Penzance.
Yeah, that's recorded at Cube Recordings. It's a good professional studio near Truro. And then also just finished the book, Agent Buried Alive Part 2. So that's slated for release at some time in the summer.
Do you want to explain more about Part 1 and Part 2?
Yeah, the Part 2 is material that nobody's ever seen before. It relates to things that happened in Texas that I've never spoken about, and even told by certain people that it's controversial, but told by certain people who appeared at the time and had no respect for the family unit.
That's in the past. So, any final words on this message to the conference?
Yeah, it's definitely overall positive message. It's become so many questions have been answered, and it's now a credible global movement. And whether disclosure comes from the BRICS nations, G7 nations, it's kind of irrelevant, really. It's like the time of nations is over in so many ways.
Well, James, thank you very much. I know that Bob's there, and I think you're getting on quite well together. Has he told you about why he's rebel not taken? All that story?
Yeah, I understand all that, yeah. About the Monmouth Rebellion. Yeah.
Well, James, thank you very much for this brief message to the conference, and that'll be played on this Thursday coming.
Okay, well, all the best for that. Hope you have a safe trip.
Okay, James Casbolt, you're back in Zenner.
Hi, Bob.
Always good to be here, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what do you want to chat about today?
I think we can do the deep dive into the album cover, the second album, Killer for Life. The album cover's just been released. So the track itself, Killer for Life, it's going to be out in the next couple of days. So I'll leave a comment below.
Great.
People can click on my YouTube channel and then just watch the video. But the album cover is interesting. It's the words killer at the top it shows like a surf spot with big waves, and then the word life shows the Penzance coastline with the St. Michael's Mount off to sea, and then you've got the Newlyn headland off to the right. And then the backdrop for the album cover, you've got the moon at the bottom, and then there's like a portal or a jump gate, whereas to Saturn.
To Saturn?
Yeah. Doesn't show Saturn, but it definitely shows the moon in the bottom and space with a portal.
What's the significance of Saturn? There's people that believe that Saturn controls Earth.
Yeah, it's like a dark sun, isn't it? Like a second sun in space. I think my family has a connection to Saturn, which is why we possibly go there when we die, which I discussed on the Journey to Truth podcast, which is I'm only talking about these things because there's enough material evidence to justify talking about them.
So Killer for Life, yeah, we went to the Cube studio and saw how that's all put together. Really impressive. But what's the connection with the Penzance coastline and the moon? Is there anything relevant about that?
Yeah, this is the things I discussed on Journey to Truth with someone. There's connections to the Cornwall and the family here. Someone had a near-death experience, and
Oh, that's your cousin, isn't it?
yeah, and said he went to the moon and then went down a tunnel and saw a tree. And this is in some of the more obscure religions. They have the same theme over and over again, that when you die you approach a tree. But this is getting into religious areas and theology, and I can't keep talking about this because the direction of travel is towards politics and even economics. But like I say, there's enough material evidence to justify talking about this, so I will, but I can't keep talking about this. Yeah, with the tree, it's also that when you die, you approach the tree, but the tree is related to a giant. So whether it's like Jack and the Beanstalk, where you go up the tree and there's a giant at the top, or there's a giant behind it. The story of Jack and the Beanstalk is older than the Bible, and it's older than the pyramids. It's older than writing itself.
Yeah.
Talking maybe over 5,000 years old, and
Also, there's a lot of local connections with that story to Cormorant, the giant who lived at St Michael's Mountain, apparently.
yeah, and your uncle,
Yeah. My uncle was George the Giant Auger.
George the Giant Auger. We've got his ring here, which
Yeah,
shows it's a kind of Nephilim ring in a way.
exactly.
I can get 2 fingers into it.
He was Queen Victoria's private bodyguard. He was picked up at the circus by Barnum and Bailey in London, flown to America to appear in the freak shows, because he was 7'11" at the time in 1900. And then he went on across the freak shows, and he went on the stage. He wrote a play called Jack the Giant Killer, Jack the Giant Slayer, and he was on New York stage for 20 years. So it kind of relates to this, and that's his ring. And you see, if you hold that up, James, you can see, I think he made that in 1920, just before he died, with a view to like marketing it. But when the BBC Wales interviewed me about him, you know, they were talking about giganticism, and I did actually say, partly jokingly, that I think it was a Nephilim throwback, and of course they didn't know what I was talking about, so they didn't really include that in it. Yeah, it's massive.
Well, I think again, when people die, they approach a tree, the Rex Mundi, the Axis Mundi, the world tree, and there's a giant associated with this Axis Mundi, this world tree, and it's a vertical structure linking the heavens and the earth and the underworld. So often you go up the tree and the giant is in the heavens. And in Mayan cosmology, the Milky Way is known as the world tree. And people are thought to have passed through it on the way to the afterlife. And even Norse mythology, the Yggdrasil is the great tree that the living and the dead, that the living, the dead, and the gods pass through. And got some notes here. It's in even Hindu mythology, the Ashvata, the sacred tree, which is actually an upside down tree. I talked about this in Bases 24, upside down trees, and symbology of upside down crucifixions taking place on trees. And in Hindu cosmology, the Ashvata, its roots is an upside down tree, that its roots are in the heavens, and the branches stretch down towards the earth. And even in Siberian and Mongolian shamanism, the soul ascends up a sacred tree to reach the spirit world. And again, you got something called the cultural hero motif, which is where a young poor boy reaches in and defeats the giants behind the tree and brings back hidden knowledge to humanity. And I was just talking about this for the Full Disclosure Now conference. Some of the gatekeepers of the UAP program, they can be described as political giants, and a young poor boy went there, and many of them have been defeated, and hidden knowledge, the UAP program, has been brought back to humanity. So it's relevant.
Yeah, I mean, that archetype goes back, ancient archetype, isn't it, to do with David and Goliath? And
Yeah.
you were saying in the car, to a certain extent, when you went to America, you came back with hidden knowledge.
Yeah, again, so many of these political giants, these gatekeepers, the UAP program, have been defeated, and this knowledge has been brought back to humanity.
So they've been trying to suppress it.
Gatekeepers, yeah. I don't know if maybe we could talk about some of the next part in the shade. And
Yeah, let's go and show this. It's a hot day today.
put it over there. And then talk about this stuff. And this. Yeah. Okay. We'll jump into Silbury B.
Yeah, so the second track on your album of Killer for Life is Silbury B.
Trapped on Silbury B.
Trapped on Silbury B.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous prison wing at HMP Elstoke in Devizes, Silbury B. A lot of things happen there. So this track is about that, Trapped on Silbury B.
Is there actually a prison called Silbury?
It's a wing on a prison, Silbury B.
In Devizes?
Yeah, HMP Elstoke.
All right.
You have Silbury A, that's one wing, and then Silbury B.
Because there's Silbury Hill, isn't there?
Yeah, it's where like warlords, ancient warlords were buried.
Yeah.
So it's very appropriate.
Yes.
Silbury B is the dangerous wing.
Is it?
Silbury A, not so much so.
Who gets put there then?
It's like your initiation. Everyone has to go through Silbury B to make it to the safer parts of the prison.
All right. Did you go there?
Yeah. And I experienced a lot of violence there.
All right.
Yeah.
Were there all kinds of so-called criminals there, or was it just...
Yeah, it was a mixture of every type of, you can imagine really. Yeah, it was a mixture.
What kind of violence? Was there like beatings and bullying and stuff?
Yeah, but it was very much orchestrated, socially engineered. Agent provocateurs would set gang leaders against each other. Even some of those political prisoners there. So it could be argued there's political prisoners there. So there was a lot of social engineering to organise the violence, done by not the prisoners. The prisoners were kind of pawns to it. Yeah.
So the track will have some, lyrics about that, really.
About what happened there, yeah. Trapped on Silbury B. It's the second track for Killer for Life.
Yeah.
So that will talk about that. Yeah. And then maybe discuss the details of what happened at a later date.
Yeah.
But it's like an initiation. Everyone goes through Silbury B. And then you earn your stripes, or you...
Yeah. So what...
Or you're scarred for life.
I bet.
Yeah.
So do they do kind of psychological torture as well there?
Yeah, but old-fashioned beatings. So it's hands-on torture.
Right.
So don't get me wrong, I talked about no touch torture. There's touch torture as well.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Oh.
There's touch torture. They mix it up.
So how would they beat you?
And they'd organise fights between the prisoners.
Right.
So they can step back and say, oh, look, it's the bad people hurting each other.
Yeah.
And keep their hands clean.
And would they then break it up or let it go on?
No, they'd organise it and make it, escalate it through social engineering.
Oh, in what way?
By moving people closer to each other in the...
Yeah.
They've got a duty of care to protect prisoners. When you go to prison, your sentence is to lose your liberty. Your sentence isn't to be tortured on top of it. So they orchestrate it by moving prisoners closer to each other, and they use complex social engineering techniques to escalate the tension and conflict between them.
Do you think the guards are aware of that, or?
Oh yeah, they were ordered, right, put this person next door to that person,
Yeah.
and then go and tell them that. to heat up the confrontation. But they're supposed to have a duty of care. They're supposed to de-escalate, not escalate.
Yeah.
They're supposed to de-escalate tension, not escalate tension.
So you got moved around a lot in various prisons, didn't you?
I was
that the
constantly
worst?
moved around. Yeah, I started off in Exeter, then gone on to near London, Kent, then back down to Wiltshire Devizes, then back down to, and then eventually back to Plymouth. So I went up the line and then all the way back down the line.
Mm.
Yeah. It's like there's, Commander, and I talked about the Ultraman, I talked about Tristan Leoness. They're like a trinity.
Yeah.
Commander, the Ultraman, and again Tristan Leoness. And this trinity's been created to protect James and take on the trauma that's happened.
How would that work?
It's almost like the personality, the identity's been fractured into three. And, Commander's the entertainer, Ultraman is more the angry one, he comes out later.
Mm.
And when I mean later, I mean after a couple of years.
That's in the near future?
Yeah, he comes out later.
Right, it's activated.
Yeah. And then Tristan Leoness comes out later still, but that's too far ahead. But they're the Trinity, Commander, Ultraman, Tristan Leoness. And they've been created to protect James.
So it's like three personality types, really.
Yeah, dissociated identity.
And if they put that program in you, do you think, or?
Whereas they've been created to take on the trauma that's happened.
Created by who?
Well, if they organically happened, or if they've been socially engineered, that's still up for debate.
Yeah.
There's no definite conclusion yet.
Yeah. And the Tristan Lioness, that sounds like the most peaceful one, because that relates to the land off of the west of Cornwall,
Yeah.
off the Scilly Islands.
And like archaeological expeditions in the sea,
Yeah, Leoness is the kind of mythical place that some people relate to Atlantis or ancient Celtic mythology.
Yeah, well, this is the my hard copies of the CD here. I've just gone into this record store here.
Okay, that's good.
Fireland Records, and this has got Leoness type artwork.
Yeah.
Where there's like the lost island of Leoness with the sun setting, and then the river going out, which could possibly be the Hale River going out into the sea. So again, Leoness type artwork.
Yeah.
This record store, Fireland Records, is at the top of Morab Road in Penzance.
Yeah.
So if people are in West Penwith,
Yeah.
West Cornwall, they can come into Penzance and they can get a hard copy of the hand album. It's being sold there.
Yeah. And you were going to use the name Tristan Leoness for your book, Escape from Tartarus.
Yeah, but I think this is what I'm saying. Ultraman has to come out next. Tristan Leoness is something for the far future.
Right.
So maybe use the name James Casbolt for the book because it's more well known. Very few people have heard of Tristan Leoness.
That's right.
I mean, your research was really good because you mentioned that he's got connections to the French bloodlines, Tristan.
Yeah.
Not many people know that, but Geoffrey of Monmouth was the main writer of Tristan. And he dedicated 1/3 of his writings to Tristan.
Yeah.
But he spelled it Tristram with an M on the end, which is the French version of Tristan.
Right.
So, it's accurate with the French connections.
Yeah, well, it's also a German connection because it's Tristan and Isolde. Or maybe that's French, medieval French, but that kind of predates Chaucer, and that was about like these star-crossed lovers. So, it's a part of Celtic mythology. So, of course it's going to, be based here as well in Cornwall.
Well, there is the German connections, because I think Wagner opera music was based on Tristan.
Yeah, that was Tristan and Isolde. Wagner, fabulous piece of music as well. So yeah, it all links up with these ancient bloodlines, really.
Yeah, definitely. I think again, it's musical, isn't it? Because it's going from opera to rap,
yeah,
and R&B, and whereas the latest track, "Killer for Life," I heard that in a dream.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting it on tonight. Getting it on tonight. I heard that in a dream, and I thought, right, I need a hard R&B beat to go with this. And I found the Trenton Kipps beat, and it had the same notes that he'd played on Tonight that I'd heard in the dream.
How much of the lyrics would come in the dream? Just like one or two lines?
Mainly the hooks, the choruses,
Right.
and the melodies. So I heard on tonight. And when I found the Trenton Kipps beat, he'd played those notes on his track that I heard in the dream.
You'd have to flesh out the rest of the lyrics from what comes in the dream.
Yeah, I fleshed out built the bare bones of the track for the verse 1 and 2. But then when I signed the contract with Trenton Kipps for the beat, to buy the rights to the beat, his LLC company, limited liability company, was called Tomorrow Was Here.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's almost like time's moving forward and backwards at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah, that's all connected to a bit like the timelines and like Project Looking Glass and stuff like that.
Yeah, so where'd he heard those notes from? Because I heard them in a dream.
Yeah.
And again, this is how the whole second album is going to be constructed, through dreams.
So you've got 2 tracks already coming to you,
Yeah.
and have you got any more in the pipeline?
Yeah, about 4 or 5. Again, but this album's going to be 10 or 11 tracks long.
Yeah.
The same as the Hand album, which was 11 tracks long.
Yeah.
So Killer for Life will be about 11 tracks long again. And I'm making my vinyl collection where I used to DJ in the 90s available at Farland Records here.
Yeah.
These are collector's items.
Yeah.
I used to DJ. This is Ghetto Boys. We Can't Be Stopped. This is a classic. They're from Texas.
Yeah.
And he's a Bushwick Bill. He's a dwarf.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and what had happened here was, this is a real picture. He'd been shot in the face by his girlfriend. I think they'd got drunk and there was an argument, and the baby was going to be thrown out the window.
Bloody hell.
And he'd ended up shot in the face with a small caliber pistol.
Christ.
Bushwick Bill. This is from '91, Rap-A-Lot record.
Yeah.
This is these are collector's items.
Yeah.
So my vinyl collection is being made available.
So you've still got access to the music. You can put
this
them on digital.
I'm converting these to digital, but my collection's just sit in the attic,
Yeah.
collecting dust. So I want to share it amongst the community.
Yeah.
So, and these are, you can see, if you see an old classic hip hop from the 90s in the record store, it's likely it's come from my collection.
Oh, wow.
But if you see my symbol, Saturn,
Where's the symbol? Oh, yeah, there it is, yeah.
then
Saturn.
you'll know it's definitely come from my collection.
Yeah.
So yeah, that.
Great story. Is that a patch over his eye? I love that.
No, that's
story.
his eyes swollen up.
Oh, his eyes swollen up.
He's pulled the patch down so you can see on the picture, and his
Yeah.
eyes swollen up where he's been shot.
How did he survive that?
It was a small caliber gun,
Right.
apparently. And yeah, he's a dwarf, Bushwick Bill. That's Scarface. That's Willie D. And yeah, it's a classic collectible item.
Yeah.
This. So yeah, hard copies of the Hand album and the vinyl is available there. So the store's at the top of Morab Road in Penzance.
Yeah. You might do a gig at some point down here.
Yeah. Scarface is doing tiny desk gigs because he's much older now. They're doing little gigs in record stores.
Are they?
Yeah, and they're actually sat down.
What, in America?
Yeah, they're sat down, and the band sat down with them. And he's got his microphone there, and they're called tiny desk concerts.
Tiny desk concerts.
And they're in record stores.
Yeah.
Where they just sit down and do a little gig. So this is where things are headed.
Yeah. Great story. You want to take a break?
Yeah.
So you're getting back onto social media, James?
Yeah, working with a PR company, Yo PR, and they basically told me I need to get an Instagram account. So I've set it up. It's commander.official. That's the name of the Instagram account.
Commander, Komander.
Yeah,
dot
official.
OFFICIAL.
Yeah, and it's got my music on there. And I'm going to be promoting a lot of the music. So whether it's the second album, with the possibility of these concerts and these gigs at some point in the future. And it's going back. It's kind of nostalgic because there was something called Yo MTV Raps on MTV. So when we were growing up, as a place where you consume your rap music videos.
Yeah.
So it's like this company, PR company, is called Yo.
So your Instagram account is it up and running now?
Yeah, it's up and running. Yeah.
So we can all follow that.
Yeah. And I'll leave a comment. The Killer for Life video will be out in the next few days.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be on my YouTube account. And I'll leave a comment below.
Yeah.
And people can just click on my YouTube account and watch the Killer for Life video.
Yeah.
So it's mainly just YouTube and Instagram at the moment.
Oh, that's great. You know, it's a quick way of getting your stuff out into the world.
Yeah.
You know, it's really essential now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great, look forward to that.
Okay.
Thanks, James.